Welcome back to our podcast, Let's Talk About Labor. This podcast aims to help farmers and ag businesses connect with other ag businesses, specifically to hear and learn about their experiences and challenges related to labor and the strategies they have used to overcome these challenges. We talk about various topics such as U.S. temporary foreign visa programs, mechanization and automation, and worker recruitment and retention strategies, among other topics. Different agencies and organizations have partnered with us to make this podcast possible, including the Southern Risk Management Education Center, Gap Connections, the U.S. Department of Agriculture SCRI program, and the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. This podcast will not be possible without the participation of farmers and ag businesses, as well as agencies with experience and expertise related to farm labor. My name is Margarita Velandia, and I'm a professor in the Department of Agricultural and Resource Economics at the University of Tennessee. Annette?
And my name is Annette Wazlacki, and I'm a professor in the Department of Plant Sciences and the Commercial Vegetable Extension Specialist at the University of Tennessee.
Okay, so we'd like to introduce our guest for today's episode. So we have Thomas Ayers, Tennessee State Monitor Advocate at the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. And we have Maura Gonzales, Outreach Staff for Migrant and Seasonal Farm Workers, also with the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. In today's episode, Thomas and Maura will talk about the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development Outreach Program for migrant and seasonal farm workers and the farm visits they conduct to talk to farm workers as part of the activities they need to complete to follow federal guidelines. Thank you, Thomas and Maura, for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thomas, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself, including your experience, and describe your job with the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development? Also, could you please give us a general description of the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development outreach programs for migrant and seasonal workers?
Yes, thank you, Annette. My name is Thomas RedBeard Ayers, and I currently serve as the Tennessee State Monitor Advocate with the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Before stepping into this role, I worked as the H-2A State Coordinator and the Lead Inspector, where I oversaw housing inspections and helped ensure compliance in federal and state regulations for agricultural employers participating in temporary foreign labor programs. In my current position, I am statewide efforts to support and protect migrant and seasonal farm workers, MSFWs. This includes monitoring outreach efforts, ensuring adequate services through American Job Centers, training staff, reviewing employers' compliance at the Department of Labor regulations. Our outreach program for the MSFWs is designed to ensure that this often underserved workforce receives the same access to employment services, training, and complaint resolution mechanisms as any other worker. Our team travels to farms across the state, engages directly with workers in the fields, helps them connect with job opportunities, support programs, legal protections. We also build strong relationships with the farmers, aiming to foster fair labor practices and compliances while supporting agricultural productivity.
Well, thank you, Thomas. And I'm gonna say that we met this, was it last year, Thomas? We met last year, this year, and
Yes,
then I learned that you can be you're Thomas. I'm the first person to call you Thomas, but you also go by RedBeard, right?
this is correct. Most people know me as Redbeard.
Yeah. So like, so if you hear about Thomas or RedBeard, that's the same person. So, Maura, and I'm gonna make sure. So I'm also Hispanic. My name is Margarita, but I pronounce it Margarita. So if you get to know Maura with my accent or Mora, so we're gonna learn a little bit more about her. So please tell us a little bit about yourself, including your experience and describe your job with the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development.
Yes, good morning. My name is Maura Gonzales, and I am the outreach worker with the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. I have a background in community work and public service. Uh, I am passionate about advocating for underserved population, especially in the agricultural sector. My job focuses on conducting outreach to migrant seasonal farm workers across Tennessee. That means going to farms, connecting with workers, providing information on their rights and services available for them, and assisting with referrals when needed. I also support our team in conducting and reporting to make sure everything aligns with federal standards and our state's mission to protect workers and promote strong labor force. Uh, how do I conduct my visits? It's usually by identifying farms through the H2A database, past contracts, or recommendations. Once we identify a site, we coordinate with the employer to schedule a visit. Sometimes, though, especially with migrant workers, we do unscheduled visits to ensure we're reaching workers during peak hours. A typical visit lasts anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. We begin by introducing ourselves uh, and the reason for our visits. We speak with the workers one-on-one in small groups, often in Spanish, and provide information about rights, available services, and where to go if they experience issues at work. Some common questions that we could ask are if they are aware of the rights under the H2A program or MSPA, which is Migrant Seasonal Farm Workers Agricultural Protection Regulations. Um, have you received your wage statements or employment contract? Do you have access to proper housing and transportation? Do you feel safe and treated fairly? So questions like that. And we can try to make conversation comfortable and informative, not an interrogation, of course, just a genuine check-in to make sure they're doing okay.
That's a really great service that you're providing. Thomas, could you tell us what you do with the information you collect on the farm visits and the importance of collecting that information?
Absolutely. The data that we collect during the farm visits serves as purposes first and foremost. It helps us track the needs and the conditions of these MSFWs, the migrant seasonal farm workers across the state. Whether it's documenting a positive employer relationship or just identifying a potential complaint, this information informs our eternal reporting and our outreach strategies moving forward. It also helps ensures compliance. If we notice that any red flags, like workers not being paid correctly or living in substandard housing, we escalate that through the proper channels, including the wage and hour division or our own housing inspection team. Will combine all the information together beyond compliance. That information lets us serve farm workers community and identify patterns needed for specific services or gaps in resources. It's all about the accountability, improvement, and the building the trust with the workers and the employers slash farmers that we work with here in the state of Tennessee.
Excellent, Thomas and Maura. And I will agree with Annette that you guys are providing a great service that is beneficial not only for the farm workers, but for the farmers themselves. I think being in compliance, and we have previous episodes of this podcast where growers talk about their experience with seasonal workers, with the H2A program, and the importance of this workforce for their farms. So I think this is great service, and I think it's beneficial for both farmers and farm workers. So before we end this episode, which is more of like an informative episode, and for you, for our audience to get to know Mara and you and the things that you guys are doing, um, is there anything else you would like to share with our audience that you think is important for farmers to know or for farm workers to know about the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development outreach programs?
I know I would, but Maria, do you want to go before me?
Yes, I will just add a very little recommendation, I would say. I am just in charge of Middle Tennessee. We have divided the whole state in three regions. So I am the one in charge for Middle. We have another outreach person for the West region, and hopefully soon we're going to be completing our team with somebody in the East region.
Mara, do you guys is that in the process yet? So you don't have an East, person in East Tennessee, but what's the name of the person in West Tennessee?
His name is Charlie Lopez.
Okay, excellent.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Hmm.
All right. And to add on to Maria's is, I would just like to add, our program, it's not really new, but it's something that Tennessee has recently had a big focus on, and so we're not trying to. Our goal is not to add or create any friction. It is to build bridges. We know farmers are currently under a lot of pressure. And there always are. They're always asking a lot of our farmers, and we just want to be able to be a resource to help everyone succeed. And by working together and create an environment where workers feel supported and where farmers stay in compliance and thrive. So our whole mission is just to make sure that, that these workers are being taken care of, but in the same instance to let the farmers know that we're also here for them so they can stay in compliance and thrive, so they don't have to worry about other things going down the road. We just want to make sure that everybody's in compliance.
Well, thank you so much, Mara and Thomas. This has been very informative, not only for us, but for our audience. And again, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. I guess we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.